it's looking like Ja Morant's going to get a significant suspension. He might also get fined. I think Ja Morant will either get a 50-game suspension or it might be the whole season. The reason I say this is because just a few weeks ago, when Adam Silver did his first interview on this Ja Morant situation, he looked so disappointed in Ja Morant. And the reason being, he had Ja Morant, the first time around he suspended Ja Morant, he had Ja Morant in his office, right? And they talked face to face. And he tried to ask Ja Morant, is there a problem? What's going on, right? How do we fix this? And Ja Morant looked him dead in the eyes, told him, I don't have a problem. This is it. I've learned my lesson. He gave an apology. And then 2 months later, Ja Morant does the same thing. So Adam Silver starts thinking he got fooled. Adam Silver's like, man, I thought we were cool with this, right? And so he looked very, very disappointed in Ja Morant. And the fact that he just got suspension 2 months ago plays a role into that, because of the same thing, plays a role into that. Adam Silver doesn't want to do this, right? Because Ja Morant, again, is a premier guy for the NBA. They plaster his face everywhere when they're promoting games. When they're promoting Memphis Grizzlies game, they're not putting Desmond Bain. They're not putting Dylan Brooks. It's Ja Morant, right? It's Ja Morant. He's very disappointed because this is hurting more people than Ja Morant thinks it's hurting. Because if I were to guess, I think that Ja Morant thinks it's probably, oh, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just having fun. But he doesn't see the business side of it. And so I can definitely see Ja Morant getting suspended for a year. I think Gilbert Arenas got suspended from the NBA due to gun problems, right? So the NBA doesn't take lightly to gun issues at all. I think first time around, when they suspended Ja Morant only 8 games, I think they were lenient on him. Why? Because Ja Morant is 23 years old, right? And then also, Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies were going to make the NBA playoffs, right? And they were a big contender. And to suspend him for a playoff would be really detrimental to the NBA in terms of bottom line, in terms of viewership and rating, right? So those are 2 reasons that they didn't really give him a huge suspension. Ja Morant came out and he apologized. But this time around, NBA, if it thinks this could be a threat to their bottom line going forward, and Ja Morant doesn't learn from his past behavior, they are not going to play around. They're going to neutralize the beast by cutting the head off. They're going to give him a huge suspension in order for it to really drill in his head that this is not okay, right? And then other possibilities that I think is going to happen with Ja Morant is Ja Morant could be fined maybe $1 million. Really let him know, listen, this is not okay. Also, maybe he could be deregulated to the G League for maybe beginning of the season, right? The Memphis Grizzlies already took their stance. They suspended him. And so the NBA has to give a very severe punishment. And then also, maybe they trade Ja Morant to a city that doesn't have that much gang influence. You guys remember, Memphis is very tied to gang influence. I mean, Young Dolph got shot in a literal cookie store, bakery. And Ja Morant's very into the hip-hop culture. Maybe they trade him to Toronto. Maybe they trade him far away to a place where they think that stuff just isn't going to fly. Maybe Portland, in order to save face, in order to stop this kid from ruining his career and ruining the NBA. Would you be in favor of trading Ja Morant outside of Memphis, or trying to get him some sort of mentor to the point where they can mentor him and say, maybe the NBA could have some sort of, not a parole officer, but someone who keeps an eye on him for a year, like a probation handed down by the NBA. I could see that happening. That would be a really good choice in which someone follows Ja Morant around to make sure he's not getting into that nonsense. But yes, those are just my thoughts on Ja Morant. If you like this kind of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like underneath this video, and until next time, kids.